You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. This show is brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family agent, Kim believes that there's so much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and business maintenance needs. Give Start to Finish a call at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Do you need products to successfully run your rental property business? Interested in a class about fair housing or rekeying locks? Want to use the plain language lease that is used by the majority of rental property owners in Minnesota? Then you should visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. That's the website for the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. They've been around for 40 years and put on hundreds of seminars, publish a monthly magazine, sell Attorney General approved leases, and have countless other tools for property owners. While they are a membership organization, all of their resources and seminars and their annual convention and their spring conference and their orientation programs are open to everyone. For more information, visit the website, mmha.com.
You know, aren't laws and rules funny things sometimes? It amazes me how things are phrased and, more importantly, why they're phrased that way. It tells you a lot sometimes about the person and what it is that they're trying to do. And, I opened the show today asking, what happened to common sense? And part of the reason I think a lot of people are scratching their heads saying there just doesn't seem to be common sense today is because we don't share as much in common as we used to. The same experiences, the same background that gave us the same understanding on how we are to act. And we need to get back to that. And one of the ways to do that is to know our history. We need to know what happened on how our country is formed, because those underpinnings of our nation are what carries us not only on the federal level, but even in the HOA as well. Well, the state of Ohio came up with something that they termed the Live and Let Live bill. Here's what they said. They said the board of the association must act reasonably under Ohio law. And it says rules that make common sense are what they need to enforce. Please, boards, please, associations, enforce the rules that make common sense. And they said, please also understand that there are other times that things need to be let go. So they're referring to this, and they've got it worded specifically. They call it the Live and Let Live bill, where they say, let common sense be your guide, enforce rules that make sense, but then also understand that you have to have a little understanding for things that come up, and you don't just govern with an iron fist. Well, what's the problem with a bill like that? Number one is, like I said, I don't know that we have all of the same experience, so we don't have the same common sense. I can think of a homeowner association that we managed a number of years ago. There was no need for a rule, but now there's a rule that this association has. It says no more than 6 potted plants can be on your patio. Well, why do you need to have a rule that specific? Well, I'll tell you why. What happened here in this association, this individual said, you know what, I want to have a garden. So they started plowing up the common area, the lawn in the back of the area. Other neighbors said, hey, you can't do that. The association shut them down. And so what did they do? They ended up putting about 120 pots on their back patio deck. I kid you not. And they were still farming corn and beans and tomatoes and everything else out of 120 pots. And so they thought, well, I guess if you tell me I can't do it this way, I'll get around the rule and I'll do it that way. And people are going, where's the common sense in this? Why do we have to have a rule that says only 6 potted plants? And what happens with the association when the board does put their fists down and say, no, we're not going to allow this to happen? You know, some people automatically go to a go-to position and say it's because people are being bullies and tyrants. It's not that a lot of times. There are many times when a board is forced into making sure that every rule is enforced 100% of the time. Why? Because they have other homeowners living in the HOA that are badgering them, saying, hey, you let this happen. You let so-and-so have their garbage can out for a day longer than it should happen. Hey, people need to pick up after their dogs immediately. This person didn't pick up the poop in their backyard for 2 days. And so a board is trying to act. And so for the Ohio State Legislature to come up with what they call the Live and Let Live bill to say, boards, please act responsibly and do it with common sense. I don't think there's an understanding here from the legislators on the position of the board, the position that they are put in by the homeowners in their HOA. While they want to make sure that things are done consistently for everyone, you can't necessarily have someone that's going to give 100% enforcement. The kind of people that would be needed to be able to watch 24/7, even just one small plot of ground for a few acres, would be undaunting and a lot more than any budget would allow. Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Folks, be reasonable in your HOA. And more importantly, make sure you have goodwill for your neighbors. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to having you here next Saturday on Where You Live.